The Adventure of Sammy the Squirrel. Once upon a time, in a cozy oak tree in the heart of Whispering Woods, lived a curious and adventurous young squirrel named Sammy. Sammy had bright, inquisitive eyes, a bushy tail, and an insatiable thirst for adventure. His treehouse, a marvel of squirrel engineering, was adorned with acorn-shaped windows and a leafy roof that blended seamlessly with the branches above. Sammy loved his home and the beautiful forest that surrounded it. Whispering Woods was a magical place, filled with towering trees, babbling brooks, and an array of wildlife that made it come alive with activity. Sammy spent his days exploring every nook and cranny of the woods, always on the lookout for something new and exciting. One bright and sunny morning, while tidying up his treehouse, Sammy stumbled upon an old, tattered map. It was tucked away in a dusty corner, beneath a pile of leaves and twigs. The map was ancient, with faded ink and mysterious symbols. In the center was a big red X. "Wow, a treasure map!" Sammy exclaimed, his eyes sparkling with excitement. He could hardly believe his luck. Sammy had always dreamed of finding hidden treasure, and now, it seemed, his dream was about to come true. Sammy knew that a proper adventure required careful preparation. He quickly gathered some supplies, nuts for snacks, a small backpack, his trusty compass, and a sturdy walking stick. He also packed a soft blanket, a small lantern, and a bottle of water. With his backpack filled, Sammy felt ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Before setting off, Sammy decided to visit his best friend, Benny the Beaver. Benny was known throughout Whispering Woods for his impressive engineering skills. If anyone could offer valuable advice or assistance, it was Benny. Benny's home was a marvel of beaver ingenuity, situated on the edge of a clear, sparkling pond. His dam was strong and well-constructed, creating a peaceful haven for Benny and his family. "Hey, Benny!" Sammy called as he approached. Benny emerged from his dam, his fur glistening with water. "Hey, Sammy! What brings you here so early?" "I found something amazing!" Sammy exclaimed, pulling out the map and showing it to Benny. "It's a treasure map. I'm going on an adventure to find it." Benny examined the map closely, his eyes widening with interest. "This is incredible, Sammy. But remember, the forest can be dangerous. You'll need to be careful." "I know," Sammy replied. "That's why I came to see you. Do you have any advice or supplies that might help me on my journey?" Benny thought for a moment, then nodded. "I can build you a small bridge to cross the brook near the big oak tree. And here, take this rope. It might come in handy." Sammy gratefully accepted the rope and thanked Benny. "Thanks, Benny. I'll see you soon." With Benny's advice in mind, Sammy set off on his adventure. The morning sun filtered through the leaves, casting dappled shadows on the forest floor. Birds chirped cheerfully, and the air was filled with the scent of wildflowers. Sammy followed the map, carefully noting each landmark. Before long, he reached the wide, bubbling brook that Benny had mentioned. The water was clear and cool, but it was too wide for Sammy to jump across. Just then, Benny arrived with his bridge-building tools. "I'm here to help, Sammy," Benny said with a smile. He quickly set to work, using branches and logs to construct a sturdy bridge. Sammy watched in awe as Benny expertly assembled the bridge. "Thanks, Benny. You're the best." Benny grinned. "No problem, Sammy. Just be careful out there." With Benny's bridge in place, Sammy crossed the brook and continued on his way. He felt a surge of excitement and determination. The treasure was out there, waiting to be found. As Sammy ventured deeper into the forest, he encountered his next challenge, a dark and winding path through a dense thicket of brambles. The tangled branches and thorny vines seemed almost impenetrable. Sammy stood at the entrance of the thicket, wondering how he would get through. Just then, he heard a familiar voice. "What's the matter, Sammy? asked Tilly the turtle, who was slowly making her way along the forest floor. "I'm on a treasure hunt, but I can't get through these brambles," Sammy explained, showing Tilly the map. Tilly nodded thoughtfully. "Stick close to me. My tough shell can clear a path." Slowly and steadily, Tilly led the way, using her shell to push aside the thorny branches. Sammy followed closely, grateful for Tilly's help. It was a slow and careful process, but eventually, they emerged on the other side of the thicket unscathed. "Thank you, Tilly," Sammy said, hugging his friend. "I couldn't have done it without you." Tilly smiled. "Anytime, Sammy. Good luck on your adventure." Beyond the thicket, Sammy found himself in a beautiful meadow filled with colorful wildflowers and tall, swaying grasses. The air was sweet with the scent of blooming flowers, and butterflies danced in the sunlight. Sammy paused to take in the beauty of the meadow. As he did, he noticed something unusual. In the center of the meadow stood a large, ancient oak tree, just like the one marked on the map. Sammy's heart raced with excitement. He was getting closer to the treasure. As Sammy approached the oak tree, he saw a small, weathered chest nestled in the roots. With trembling paws, he opened the chest, revealing a dazzling collection of acorns, each one more colorful and unique than the last. Sammy's eyes widened with wonder. "Wow, these acorns are amazing," Sammy whispered to himself. He couldn't believe he had found the treasure. Just as Sammy was marveling at his discovery, his friends Benny and Tilly arrived, along with a few other woodland creatures who had heard about the treasure hunt. "Wow, Sammy, you found the treasure," Benny exclaimed. "Look at those beautiful acorns," Tilly added. Sammy beamed with pride and gratitude. "I couldn't have done it without all of you. This treasure belongs to all of us." That evening, Sammy and his friends gathered in the clearing to celebrate their successful adventure. They shared the colorful acorns, sang songs, and told stories under the twinkling stars. The meadow was filled with laughter and joy as the woodland creatures celebrated their friendship and teamwork. Sammy realized that the true treasure was not the acorns, but the bonds of friendship and the memories they had created together. He knew that he would always cherish this adventure and the friends who had helped him along the way. As the night drew to a close, Sammy looked around at his friends and smiled. He felt a deep sense of contentment and happiness. Whispering Woods was a magical place, and he was grateful to be a part of it. The next morning, Sammy woke up feeling refreshed and full of energy. He knew that his adventure had come to an end, but he also knew that there would be many more adventures to come. Whispering Woods was full of mysteries and wonders, and Sammy was eager to explore them all. Sammy spent the day helping his friends and sharing the acorns they had found. He gave some to Benny, who used them to decorate his dam. He gave some to Tilly, who planted them near her home. He also shared the acorns with the other woodland creatures, bringing joy and color to the forest. As the days passed, Sammy continued to explore the forest and discover new things. He learned that the greatest treasures were the friendships he had formed and the experiences he had shared. Sammy knew that he was never alone and that his friends would always be there to support him. And so, Sammy's adventure came to an end, but his journey was just beginning.